Hello everybody, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Charlie and I'm going to do an interior review of the Ember 191 MDB. We've had it for 6 months, a little over 6 months. I wanted to do a 6-month review, but it was in the shop getting the slide fixed, so we're going to do it now. So when we first walk in the door, you've got your Ember control panel up here. You can see it's Bluetooth connected right here. So on your phone, you can download the LCI Connect One app, One Control app, and you can turn it off, on and off all your lights. So we'll go on and turn on the ceiling lights. They come on. The nice thing about these ceiling lights is they're on a dimmer. So sometimes you don't want real bright light. You can dim them down, adjust them up or down. You can't dim them apparently on the app, but that's okay. The other thing that you can do with this app, I'm going to go ahead and put out the awning. So you can extend your awning right here with your phone. So there we go. It's always good to keep an eye on it. So stand here and hold the button. So that's a great feature, especially putting out the slides. There you go. So the awning's down. On here you've also got your step light, all the ceiling lights, your water pump, and it's got your tire link on here too, so that way you can link up to your tires. Sometimes it takes a minute, so we might skip over the tire link for now because there's a part in my truck that has to connect. So you can also move your slide in and out. I'm not going to do the slide right now. And there's a safety feature on here. When you're driving down the road, it disables any of the functions, so you don't accidentally, while you're trying to check your tires, accidentally push the slide out or start putting your awning out. So it's a great little app. Tells you the voltage of your battery, tells you your RV health. I haven't really got into too much of it, but I do like to use it for the few little items. So we'll put the app down. So coming over here, right next to the door is your Truma. This is your little control center for your furnace, your hot water. This will give you an opportunity to switch between propane or electric, or a combination of propane and electric, and it'll give you your fan control. It also gives you the time. It's 6:57 p.m. right now. So if you wanted to turn on the furnace, you would come here and click, push the button in when it's flashing on the RV, and then right now it's off, and then you can set your temperature to whatever temperature you want. And over on the wall next to the bathroom, Gene, if you show that the little round thing right here, this is what they call a thermistor. It tells what temperature it is in here. So your heater is controlled by the thermistor. So we're not going to turn that on. We're going to leave it off. So then we'll click the button one more time and it gives you your thing. Scroll to the right, then that'll go to your hot water. The little thermostat with the water is your hot water. Right now it's off. If you want to turn it on, you got a couple of different modes. You got eco mode, you got hot, and you've got boost. I always run it just in the hot, and I only use the propane. I don't use the electric heater. The boost is when you're running the furnace and the hot water. For 20 minutes or so, it will give most of the power to the hot water so that you can take a nice hot shower. So if you wanted to go to boost, you push the button, turn to the right, whichever one you want to choose. We're going to choose eco for now. You press the button again and it'll go into eco mode. Then you turn the button to the right and then your gas and electric will be flashing. You can choose your fuel. I always just go with the gas. You can mix it with propane and 1 electric burner, propane 2 electric burners, or just electric with 1 burner, or electric with 2 burners. So once you decide what you want, I would always go with gas. You press the button and then it goes to gas. It starts heating up. When it starts flashing, that means it's working. Once it stops flashing, then your water will be hot and ready to use. So I'm going to turn all this back off because I don't want any hot water right now. So you come over here to the gas. Well, it doesn't go off, it just switches back and forth. Then if you've got a fan control off, this is for your furnace, so you can vent. And then on vent you've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different speeds you can run the vent fan. So we're just going to leave that off for now. So that's your control center. You've got some settings to set in a timer to turn it on and off. The hot water works pretty good in the warm weather. We'll find out this winter in the mountains how good it works when it's cold out. It does heat up to 100 and I think 45, 150 degrees. 165 degrees, Gina corrected me. So the water does get very hot. You got to be real careful mixing it so that you don't burn up the 2.6 gallons too fast. So you've got to learn how to take a shower in an RV. So that's your hot water, that's your control center here. It also has your tanks right here, your fresh tank, black tank, and gray tank. It gives you your levels in thirds. It also has your battery, the state of your charge over here. It's got a nice little step light. We did that on the outside review. The inside review, it's got an accent button right here, which turns on. Well, this overrides it there, but that will turn on and off that light right there. So when you come in the door, you can have a little accent light there. And there is another one in the bathroom, which is controlled right there by the door, little accent light. I call it the Ember glow light. And you can also turn it off from the switch in here, and you can turn that one off from the switch over there. So nice little accent lights running at nighttime. The dimmer switch. Now we do have some lights in here that are not on the dimmer switch. The one over the sink is not on a dimmer switch. The one here on the dinette is not on a dimmer switch. And then you've got a light for, this used to be the top bunk. I have remodeled that. We've got a video on that. Top bunk has a light and the bottom bunk has a light. This is still a bunk on the bottom that folds up and down. So you've got a lot of lights in here. It's a well lit trailer. Then in the bathroom, you've got lights in here. It's controlled right here on the wall. There's a switch with 4 different controls. One of them is this light. Then you've got your exhaust fan is the next little switch. Then you've got a backlight on your medicine chest here. And then you have the Ember glow light. So the place is well lit, that's for sure. Plenty of light in here. So that's the lights. So right here where this first light is, you've got your sink. It's got a nice big gooseneck faucet, a single mixing valve, and they made this little piece to fit in the sink to give you a little more counter space because there really is no counter space. It's got the same finish as the countertop. The only downside is this is MDF. It's made basically out of sawdust and glue, I guess. The top and the edges are covered, but the bottom is not covered. And if there's any water when you're running down the road, it gets a little drip coming out right here. It will leave a ring and you can feel it. It's a little bit swollen. So long term, this probably isn't going to last. But for now, it does what it's supposed to do. The sink is nice. It's a stainless steel. It's a really deep bowl, probably 8 or 9 inches deep. It's a good sized sink. I have no complaints about the sink. You got great hot and cold water right here. Then you've got a 2-burner stove. We haven't used the interior stove a lot. We have used it a little bit. One thing about it, we keep right here in the drawer most of the time. I don't think it's in here now. We haven't camped for a couple of weeks. But you need a lighter. You need a barbecue lighter or something to make a spark, because this does not automatically light. So nice little 2-burner stove. It's got an exhaust hood that has another LED light under here, and it's got an exhaust fan. So one thing with the fan, when you go to cook in here, you need to step out the door a little bit. And right here is where your exhaust fan is. It's got a little flap under here. You got to make sure that's opened so that the air can actually exhaust. It's really simple to do. And then you got to make sure when you're traveling down the road to click it closed again so you don't have wasps or anything making nests in there. Of course, you got your nice windows here with the screen or the solar shield on there. For some reason, this is the only window that came with this little clip so it slides together. I don't know why, but that's how it came. So we have added this paper towel holder. Gina will put a link in the description. It's a nice little thing. It's adhesive backed. Sits right up there. I like these blue shop towels. They're pretty good towels. And she's got all her little utensils right here. They're not going to travel there, but for now that's where they stay. The microwave, I've used it once for popping popcorn. Microwave works great. You've got a little storage cabinet here, and this is another receptacle for you up here. The microwave is plugged in right there. A couple little storage. It's not a whole lot. But you also have your tank heater switch in here. So when you're camping in cold weather, you turn that on. The tank heater is controlled by a thermostat. So you can turn it on and forget about it. So while we're here, you've got a nice little storage area underneath the sink. And we've done a lot of modifications. We've got some videos, and Gina will put a link on these. I put in a little sliding rack. Right now it's empty. We usually keep a lot of our food stuff in here. Like I said, we haven't been out for a couple of weeks. So it's got a nice little soft close rack in there. She keeps her collapsible handy dandy dish drainer that rides right up here when you're washing your dishes. It's nice because it collapses up real small. She's got a couple command hooks to keep the pot holders on. Little thing for the sponges. Another little command hook for the cutting board. Another one, nothing's on it now, but I think we keep towels on that. Then under here, this is primarily where the dog food and stuff stays. Little dog bowls. It's a smaller area because you've got your pipes that run up to the sink and to the outside spray port. So it's a little bit smaller area, but we were able to get a smaller rack and put that rack in there. And then you've got 4 pretty good sized drawers. We had a little issue after we had camped a few times. Something that holds the sliding racks in the back wasn't secured enough, so the drawers wouldn't stay in and they wouldn't click in. But now I was able to get back there. I took them all out, put in a little piece of plywood, screwed it down so that they can stay in place. So inside here, Gina's got a nice little silverware organizer. She'll put a link in the description for this thing. It's pretty handy to keep all your stuff pretty organized in a little small drawer. I like it because they're angled in there, so it makes it a little easier getting in and out. Keep our bowls and plates and towels, napkins, extra sponges in that one, and different kind of measuring cups and little storage containers in here. So it's enough storage for what we're doing. Coming down the line, we've got the Dinette 12-volt refrigerator. I don't have any complaints with the refrigerator. When we first bought the unit, the refrigerator didn't work. It was a cold day in January. When we picked it up, I opened the door. It was probably 40 degrees outside, so it felt cold. The lights came on in the refrigerator, so I assumed that it was working. Campers Inn told me that they were going to have an electrician go through the whole trailer and make sure everything was good. So I took his word for it. I believed that the refrigerator was working, but overnight camping on our first trip that night, we found out quickly that it did not work. It took 2 months to get the new refrigerator installed. We had to make a trip up there, drop the camper off. It took 2 weeks for them to diagnose it, so we lost it for 2 weeks. Then they had to go through the warranty process, order the parts. Ember sent the refrigerator 2 campers in. We went to the Ocala store instead of going all the way to Jacksonville. It was a little closer. So by the time all was said and done, it took 2 months to get the refrigerator replaced. It's been working great since we got it back. It's a good size refrigerator. Works great for us. Right above the refrigerator, you got another little storage cabinet. In the back, you can see the green light back there. That is our 30A MPPT solar controller. It's a Go Power solar controller back there. And then I put this rack in right here, a little soft close rack to make, because you couldn't access anything. You couldn't reach it. If you put anything in here, you'd have to take everything out to get to it. So we put a nice little soft close rack in so we can put some pans and bowls and plates and little Ziploc storage and wax paper, whatever, up here. Again, the link will be in the description. It's a great little storage cabinet there. Right over here is your remote for the MPPT solar controller. This is called the GP Go Power RVC remote. So this also has an app. You can go to the Go Power Connect in the Play Store. You can get the app. Now, when I first got the trailer, the app was being goofy. It was trying to tell me I had 2 battery banks. We only have 1 battery bank. Every time I would uninstall it, reinstall it, it just kept giving me false readings. I dealt with Go Power. They assured me that the thing was working right, but the app was wrong. I downloaded the app a couple days ago, and it's actually given me 1 battery bank now, and it seems like the readings on the app are matching what's on here. So I'm pretty happy with that. However, the solar, I don't think it's really ever worked right. We have 4 100 amp batteries. So that's a lot of power. So we can go out for a couple of days and use the power. But the 590, 570 watts of solar panels never really seems to charge the batteries. I mean, we've never been able to charge it to 100% with the solar. It'll give you 10%, it'll give you 12%. I've had it just sitting in the sun for probably 3 weeks. Ran the refrigerator for the first week and the battery went down to 28%. And we're in sunny Florida. So I would assume, sitting out here in the sun in the middle of this field, that this thing would have plenty of solar power to recharge those batteries. So I've got a ticket in with Go Power. We're going to try to resolve that. In my mind, I wanted it to work. I believed that it was working, but the truth is it's just really not working. So we'll get to the bottom of that here in the next week or so. Coming on down, this is where the double bunks used to be. We turned this into storage because we didn't need 2 bunk beds. So I put in a couple of soft close things. We keep our clothes up here, whatever we need. We've got big shelf right here for backpacks, whatever other kind of stuff we need. Got a nice little window here. We can actually reach it now, and we can reach all the way over here. When this top bunk was in, you had no way to reach anything in the back. We've still got the bottom bunk going. We've got it. We use it for a lot of storage right now too. So we've got a few items up there. We do have the mattress in case I want to lay down and take a nap or whatever. So that's still there. Bottom bunk's ready. And then we installed this Rubbermaid fast track system. It's got some hooks so we can hang backpacks, life jackets. We do boogie boarding, kayaking, snorkeling. So we can hang our gear. We've got a bunch of different hooks to slide along this system. It comes all the way to the back, across the back here, and then down this side here. So we've got a video where I did the remodel on this thing, opened this space up. So in here you've got 2 USB ports for this top bunk, and you've got 2 USB ports on the bottom bunk. So there's plenty of USB charging going on here. So it's a great little area. Now looking down here, this is where your heater ducts come out. So you've got one duct here. There's another one there. There's one right inside the bathroom on the bottom of the cabinet down there. So that's 3, and then there's one on the side of the sofa here. Now what I have heard claimed, this is a 4-season camper. They didn't have that certification when we bought it, so we don't have the sticker or whatever the proof is, but I'm told that there is a duct that goes underneath the belly. So it's an enclosed underbelly. It's got the tank heater, and they tell me that there is hot air blowing underneath for the tanks and the pipes. So we'll find out when we go on a cold mountain trip. So now one thing I want to point out, Gina, while we're back here in this bunk area looking at this floor, it started as a little spot in the back. Hopefully you can pick that up on the camera. I don't know what it is, but there was one little spot back on the back by the back door when we first picked up the camper. And over the past couple of weeks, that thing has spread. I don't know if it's mold. I don't know if it's the glue changing the color of the tile, but also right here by the sink, there was always one little spot right here, a dark spot right here. This one has not spread. But that one over the past month, well, we've had the trailer back, I think 2 or 3 weeks. That thing has come on down the hallway. Plus, there's one in the bathroom here on the floor right there. So I don't know what's going on with that, but apparently it's going to have to make another trip back to somebody. And if anybody knows what's going on with that flooring, please leave a comment. If you have experience with floors, whatever kind of floor this is, I don't know what it is, linoleum or... But what I do know is the floor was put down before the cabinets were built, before the walls were built, before everything. So replacing the floor doesn't seem like a very fun task. I don't know how, can't even begin to imagine how they would do that. So back here in the back, you've got your little cargo door. It's a great little cargo door. I think I did it on the exterior one, but it's got a nice little handle inside you can use to open up. We'll let some cool air in. We don't use it for putting kayaks in. We do put our chairs back here when we travel. And we've got a couple other little items. I think I put the ladder back here on the floor, the telescoping ladder. That lights up the floor a little better, doesn't it? Okay. Yeah, if you know anything about flooring or what this could possibly be, Gina's worried it's mold and it's going to get in our lungs and make us sick. I don't have any idea what it is. So in here we've got a nice little bathroom. The shower is great. It's pretty decent size. It's got the shower miser so that you can let the water circulate back into your tank while it's warming up. Gina's put 2 little command hooks up here to hold our washcloths, and she's put a little deal up here to hold the small shampoo and conditioners up here because this one rack really wasn't enough. It's a porcelain foot flush toilet. I have no complaints with the toilet. It's a great little toilet. It's easy to clean. It stays clean and it's nice. One thing that happened in the shower, one day I was in here taking a shower and I felt something snap. I took the little access panel off, and underneath they've got little pieces of plywood on a 2x4, and the 2x4s are running on some kind of the plastics of the tub part of the shower. Apparently the 2x4s look like they were put in upside down because the ones on this side are sitting one way and the ones on this side are sitting the other way. There's no way to get them out. They're put in before the walls are built. So there's a soft spot in the shower, but I will find a way to fix it because I'm not taking it back to have them do anything with that. The other thing is we felt a draft in here when we were camping in the winter last year. They cut a hole through the flooring, the structural floor, so that the P-trap for the shower had enough space to clear. Underneath, all there is a piece of whatever they enclose the belly with. I could feel cold air coming in here, and the same thing through here. So when you were in the bathroom in the wintertime, it feels cold. I took spray foam and Eternabond tape, and I was able to seal around that hole, and in the back where the water lines came in, I sealed that up, and I sealed the lines underneath the sink because it was the same scenario. They cut a big 4-inch hole, ran the pipes through, and then nothing closing it off. So I took care of that myself. We put in a towel bar. We put in 3 towel bars. We got one up here, we got this one, and then we put one on the door. Now these towel bars have, I think 2 screws on each side. We screwed right into this Asdel. It's got great screw retention. This thing holds up great. I've got a big towel that I hang on there. Don't have any issues. It came with this little ring. We still use that, I think, for like maybe a little hand towel. And it came with this little drunken octopus ready to fight. We don't really use that much either. We did put in a new toilet paper holder we got at the somewhere in St. Augustine. Little surfboard, Aqua Girl. So kind of personalized it a little bit here. It's got a couple little shelves. It's great, small little storage area. And you've got some storage underneath the sink here. Gina keeps towels under there. This is all the pipes and stuff. There's really no need to get under there unless you're going to fix the holes in the floor. The sink is a plastic sink in here. It does the job. I mean, it's small, and with the vanity right here, it's hard to... It's not the greatest setup, but it is a nice big medicine chest. So for now, it works. Maybe one day we'll replace the sink. So that's the bathroom. Now coming out here, I want to talk about these receptacles because you got a bunch of them. There's one in the bathroom. You've got one receptacle here. There's one as soon as you walk in the door over here. And then there's one on each side of this couch. So you've got like 5 receptacles total in here. So when you've got the inverter on, or if you're hooked to shore power, there's also the USB ports right above those receptacles there. On this side, you've got your light that lights up behind the bed. It's LED lights, and those lights are also on a dimmer. So at nighttime, if you just need a little low light for whatever you might be doing, reading or whatever, you can dim them down, turn them up. And here you've got your propane and CO2 monitor, keep you safe. Above the dinette, you've got a little bit of storage area here. We keep our owner's manual, backgammon, a few little games. We've got the owner's package there. And of course, we don't leave home without the first aid kit. Put the handle up so I can grab it easy. It's not a lot of storage, but it's a pretty good little spot to keep stuff. Now under this dinette, on this side, there's very little storage. It's only like 6 inches deep because underneath there is the fender well for the slide. I think we keep a little electric or battery powered vacuum in here. Got a box with some Eternabond tape. Collapsible little hamper. So that's pretty good on that side. This side has more storage. So this is a pretty deep storage here. This is like 17 inches deep, the width of the thing, and all the way across the slide. I installed a little soft close rack here for putting stuff in, and you've still got room on the other side for another storage box, whatever you wanted to put in there. Sturdy aluminum welded frame, so that thing is pretty sturdy. Then this turns into a little sleeper. And this is Gina's collapsible hamper that we keep underneath there. It's a handy little deal. She'll have links for all the little stuff. So this folds down pretty easy. It's got a nice tight spring on it, so it's not super easy, but that folds down. You throw your cushions on here. And you've got a little spot for the grandkids, or if you have young kids, somebody small, short can sleep on that. I've laid on it. I've got to have my head up here and my feet are hanging off. I laid there just because the air blows on it really good and I was hot. So it is another little spot to sleep somebody, and it's quick and easy, so that's what I like about it. So when you're going up, this back part here has little slots in this metal, and this has little hooks right here. So you raise that up and they catch right in those little thing, and that's all there is to it. There's no middle leg, there's nothing else to do there. See if I can put this thing back together the way it was. Yeah, back to a dinette pretty quickly. Now, of course, the slide gave us some problems. We had that replaced. It leaves a stain across here. I guess it's from the rubber seal. I don't really know. But there was a big gap in the floor here when we first bought it. Again, I didn't do a very thorough walkthrough. They had the slide in. They weren't actually offering to put the slide out. When we got to camp and slid it out, we saw a big dark spot here. And I actually have a photo from the RV show that I took a picture of the flooring, and this was in the background of it. This was here at the RV show. I know now why they probably didn't open the slide. But after they got this to fix our slide, there's two big gouges in here in the floor. One is here, and there was another one over on this side. So the slide dropped. The floor is a mess. Somebody's gonna have to do something with the floor. So you've got all these windows. We went over those on the outside review. This is the great stargazer window on the inside. This thing opens up nice and wide. This is one more item that I had on the warranty list when I was up on the roof washing it back on this side, Gina. I don't know if you can see the track back here. But I was on the roof and I saw that this side of the window was out of the metal track that it sits in. I said something to Ember, I said something to the dealer. He said his tech couldn't find it, and I'm pretty sure he probably sat right here and said, oh, it looks fine to me. So that never got dealt with. Comes with the bug screen and the solar. One thing is this string, so this has like a little string in here to help hold it together. This side never had a string in it. I'll figure out a way to fix it. I'm not taking it back for that. We'll keep it for 2 months to try to fix a string. But I never had one. Strange. But that's a great window. All these windows are great. They open up very easily. And it gives you a lot of, these are the clickers. I like the clickers. They just stay open. Whew. Nice dinette window when you're sitting here having dinner. You don't want the AC blowing on you. Click it out 3 times and you're good to go. Now to the bed. Oh, you've got a little bit of storage up here. We keep some pillows, blankets, a few little spare items up here. Gina has put a couple of command hooks up here. We keep the leashes on right here. She put 2 on this side where we keep our little kayaking hats on. Keep them up out of the way. So to the bed. Move these pillows out of the way. So this folds down. It's a jackknife sofa. It's got a nice little cup holder in the center. It's a pretty comfortable couch. It's not bad. One deal we had when we first got it, it wouldn't open and close very easily. Something was hitting on this. They said they would fix it. They never did. I ended up getting the word from the engineer from Ember on how to fix it. I took it apart and did it myself, and we did a video on that. You'll see that in the description. A couple cup holders on the sides. You got a couple little arms here to keep your remotes, or if you've got kids that can hide their toys in there or whatever. It does not, no footrest come out or anything, but it's not a bad little couch. This folds up, and this is where all the The big stuff is, this is where our 4 Battleborn batteries are. The Combi Master inverter. So there's actually a 4th battery behind the Combi Master there. So we've got 4 batteries, 400 amp hours. And I say it does last quite a while, but it just really doesn't replenish. Let me pull this out of your way here. Watch yourself. I got this. There's your, I want to show there is your Truma Combi heater and hot water heater right there. The heater works great. I mean, we've never been cold in this unit. It stays warm in here. You got to actually turn it down. And there's the back of your Nautilus Center with all your hoses and what have you. Now, in the beginning, when we first picked up the trailer, there was a few issues where you could see daylight down to the bottom, and that meant cold air was coming up through the bottom and coming around the couch. So we were cold. Felt cold breeze in there, but I took care of it with some Eternabond tape and spray foam. Was able to seal that up. So that's pretty much all that. Oh, I should have left these in there. So this is the big bed. Gina's got the Marcel. We monitor the temperature and the humidity and the power in the unit when we have to go somewhere and we leave the doggies behind. This will notify you if the power goes out. You set your threshold of what temperature you want to be notified at, and that will send you a signal to your cell. You don't have to have Wi-Fi or anything else. It has its own cell signal, and it works pretty good. Now, when you get ready to open this bed, you want to make sure your TV's all the way back. The TV's on a little hinge deal right here. So you want to make sure that this is always in and flat back here, because you will ruin it if you try to pull this bed out. Our original mattress we threw in the dumpster at one of the campgrounds. We slept on it a couple of weeks, and we decided very quickly that it was very painful to sleep. Okay, so this is with the bed down. We slept on the other mattress the first couple of trips, and we quickly decided that it was very uncomfortable. Our hips hurt. We woke up in pain. First couple nights, I'm like really surprised. I thought that mattress was firm, but where it bends, it just becomes very uncomfortable very quick. So we put it in the dumpster. Gina found this. It's actually a futon mattress, so it bends and moves around pretty good. We couldn't find an RV mattress that bends. So this is what we got, and it's pretty comfortable. And it's a nice sized bed. Plenty of room. Lay here and you can stare up at the stars or the moon or the sun or whatever happens to be out there when you're laying here. It's pretty comfy. And here's where those little lights come in. So you can turn on that light back there, and it's on a dimmer switch. So you can brighten them up. Or did I turn them off? There you go. Nice bright lights in the backlight. Now while we're over here, this is where your TV plugs in. You got a little cigarette light plug right here. Plug that in, and then you've got your cable running to the TV. There's a little button right here. You've got to make sure you press that and the little green light comes on. That'll turn on your wine guard on your roof. The Ember comes with that. So that way you can get a TV signal. So got to make sure. It took us a while to figure out where that was. And Ember, this has a sound bar on it with AM FM. Ember sent me a nice little antenna. I couldn't figure out how to get the radio working. Ember finally sent me a little antenna. She said nobody uses AM FM anymore, so I guess I'm a dinosaur, but I like the FM radio. Gives you local weather, local news, local people. So that, it's got an AC. Now we've left it off because it's kind of loud when you're trying to record. It does have a nice little 13.5 BTU AC. It's not ducted. It's got the vents right here, and then it's got vents right here that come down. It's got a little filter that you got to wash right here. You got to stay on top of that so you don't mess up your airflow. It looks dusty right now. Probably need to clean it again. But I'll turn it on just so you can hear how loud it is. and I am mooch docking right now. I've got a small amount of power coming over here. Just try to get these batteries charged because they got completely depleted just sitting out here in the sun. Won't recharge, so. The AC keeps it very cool in here. I mean, Gina turns it off a lot because it does get cold. It'll keep it in 70 degrees when it's 100 degrees outside. So the trailer's very well insulated. That is for sure. That's all I can think of for now. And that is the detailed interior 6-month review of the Ember 191 MDB.